It was Randy Newman who provided the lyrics, and we welcome you as well. Tonight from the Miami Arena, an early arriving crowd. So much anticipation for this first round matchup between the New York Knicks, seeded 7th in the East, and the Miami Heat, who come in with the 2nd seed.
It is the key. Everyone's talking about the defense. I think that's the constant. Both of these teams are great defensive teams. I think the key to this series is offense and who can score. And for the Knicks first, you think about Allen Houston. He is a great scorer. To the Heat, he reminds them a lot of Michael Jordan. And these are the guys that are going to have to defend. You might even see P.J. Brown guarding him at times. And for the Miami Heat, it's pretty easy also. It's Tim Hardaway. The Knicks are concerned about him all game, but more concerned about him in the fourth quarter when he makes big shots, and there'll be a ton of guys guarding him tonight as well.
Well, New York and Miami met each other 4 times in the regular season this year. 2 wins for each. Tonight, game 1 of the rematch. They were in the Eastern Conference semifinals a year ago.
We'll get your playoff night started here on TBS with the Knicks and the Heat in Miami, followed by Minnesota and Seattle, while on TNT, 8 o'clock Eastern, New Jersey and Chicago will tip, to be followed by the Blazers and the Lakers. But coming up next, we'll take you back to Miami Arena. John Starks and the Knicks getting set. Bring your mouthpiece as you take on the Miami Heat and Tim Hardaway. It's next on TBS.
It is not the largest arena in the NBA, but certainly when filled as it is tonight, one of the most exciting. Miami Arena, game 1. And for the New York Knicks, Allen Houston, Charlie Ward in the backcourt. Larry Johnson, Charles Oakley, Chris Mills up front. For the Miami Heat, 2nd seed in the East, Deshaun Leonard and Tim Hardaway are the guards. Dan Marley starts in place of Jamal Mashburn tonight. Alonzo Mourning and P.J. Brown. We check in.
Between these 2 franchises, the Knicks have lost just about every one. They lost Pat Riley. They lost supremacy in the Atlantic Division. They lost last year's controversy-filled playoff games, and they also this year lost a great shot clock debate. So tonight, we open the newest chapter in the NBA's most heated rivalry, and the only thing that remains to be seen, Bert, is what in the world will be tonight's controversy.
I think there probably will be at least one. The officiating crew, Ron Garrison, Dan Crawford, and Joe DeRosa. Oakley and Mourning.
Well, it started already.
Yeah, it sure did. Mourning gets it in the hands of Tim Hardaway. Now Deshaun Leonard picked up quickly by Allen Houston. Chris Mills out on Dan Marley. Charlie Ward will guard Hardaway. Here's Mourning, kicks it outside to Hardaway for 3. What a way to open the night.
Boy, that's exactly the way they wanted to, and the way Jeff Van Gundy didn't. He said, we're going to give them open shots, but we just want to make sure the right guy takes them. That's the wrong guy.
Allen Houston is guarded by Marley. Allen Houston's first shot over the top. Miami ball.
Well, you'll see it here. New York decides to double-team Alonzo, and that's one of the reasons you miss Patrick Ewing, because you have to do that. But you cannot leave Tim Hardaway open.
Patrick Ewing, of course, is on the playoff roster for the New York Knicks, but expectations are he will certainly not play in this series, barring something totally unexpected. Although here's illegal defense called against the Knicks first of the night.
You can see the energy in this game already. These 2 teams have been practicing for a week. Both physical practices. They couldn't wait to get out against someone else.
Well, Pat Riley told us this morning he wished the game had been yesterday.
Yeah, and I think his players did too.
Hardaway guarded by Charlie Ward. Here's the pick from Alonzo Mourning. The steal, and at the other end, Charlie Ward for 2.
Well, it was Pat Riley who was talking about he wanted to create turnovers. I think the Knicks have the same thought process also. Both teams have to figure out ways of scoring, and turnovers are one of them.
Allen Houston closely guarding Deshaun Leonard. P.J. Brown saves it, kicks it back to Dan Marley. Marley, Chris Mills defending him. Off balance shot. Doesn't get the roll. The tip, no. P.J. Brown is there.
Chris Mills had the ball, almost tipped it in.
And a 5-2 Miami lead. Charlie Ward, Allen Houston. Marley right with it. Penetration and a little floater. No good from Charlie Ward. Mourning with a rebound. On Tim Hardaway. Pick and roll with Mourning. Loses control. Mourning saves it. Takes the jumper. Off balance. Oakley fights for the rebound. Takes it away from Brown.
It's not a great shot. That's an energy shot. Mourning hadn't taken a shot yet. He wanted to get one up.
Ward in the corner. Tipped last by Miami.
Look at this. P.J. Brown is really going after the ball so far. And here's one where almost tipped in by Chris Mills. P.J. Brown gets it and does the right thing with it.
P.J. Brown, game 5 here. Last May 14th, of course. The controversy when he flipped Charlie Ward. 5 New York Knicks came off the bench, suspended for the subsequent games of 6 and 7. Here's Larry Johnson underneath for 2, and it's 5-4 Miami.
Well, he's the other weapon for New York. You know Allen Houston has to have a big game. You hope, if you're the Knicks, that Larry Johnson does also. And the two are easy for Miami. Tim Hardaway, and there you go, Alonzo Moore.
Misses that one. Larry Johnson had a 35-point night in one of the 4 games this year. Other than that, the other 3, not that much of a factor. There's Oakley. Into the hands of Deshaun Leonard. Alonzo Mourning takes the jumper.
If he can make that shot consistently, really give Oakley problems because he's bigger and he can get the shot off whenever he wants to.
7-4 Miami lead. Houston kicks it over to Oakley. Takes his second shot. This one off the mark. Leonard behind the back gets by Charlie Ward, and then Houston picks him up. Skip pass to Hardaway. Marley shadows Houston into the corner. Chris Mills, top of the key. Houston cuts out, misses again.
Both great defense by Dan Marley on both of Houston's shots so far.
Hardaway.
Oh. You wanted physical, you got physical. Tim Hardaway just punished Charlie Ward and then scored the ball. Wow. He's a point guard, but he has a linebacker's body.
Timeout, New York. They've missed 4 shots from the outside. They're only 2 of 7 thus far. And this a 22nd timeout. Watch Dan Marley and how closely he is shadowing Allen Houston.
Well, he's the key guy. When we talked to Pat Riley this morning, all he talked about was Allen Houston. And he kept talking about Michael Jordan and Allen Houston. And you can see there, Dan Marley in his face. They want somebody in his face all night long. And look at this cross-court pass to Tim Hardaway from Deshaun Leonard. And watch Hardaway. He catches and goes immediately. He is so quick, and you can't push him one way or the other because he can go right or left.
Look at the similarity in these two teams in 4 games against each other.
Yeah, it's amazing, and all the numbers are bad.
Yes,
84
right.
points, bad. 39%, bad. 25, everything's bad. That's why it's a good series.
You're trying to tell me bad is good.
Bad is good tonight.
Okay. 11-4. Ward, that's for 3. Nope. Marley rebound. Knicks open cold. 2 of 8 now from the floor. P.J. Brown, he's guarded by Johnson. Backs in on him. Turn around, got it.
Well, I'll tell you what, they are really letting them play, and that's nice. That's a smart move by the officials. And P.J. Brown, who is also taller than Larry Johnson, can get his shot off when he wants to.
Remember game 1 of the playoffs last year? Orlando, Miami, they were 35-10 at the end of the first quarter.
And 99-64 at the end.
Right. That
Jeff
series wound up going 5.
Yeah, Van Gundy talked about that. He said, we know Miami is going to come out strong. Having been with Pat Riley, Riley loves to get his team out at the first playoff game in the first round. And they're doing it again.
Mourning guarded by Oakley. Marley, 3 points. And a 10-point lead. Under 7 to go in the opening quarter. Here's Larry Johnson. They'll try and give him an opportunity. P.J. Brown guards him. Johnson hits.
Well, if Allen Houston is not scoring, you need somebody else. When you look at Miami, they have a bunch of guys who can score points on this team.
Vashawn Leonard.
Wow. Every single player has scored for Miami.
3 of 3 from downtown now for the Miami Heat. Larry Johnson has hit the last 6 points for the Knicks. He's got the ball in his hands again. Oakley. Time's all, 6:08 to go. The foul was called on Alonzo Mourning. Off guard, Allen Houston has had some killer games against the Miami Heat this year, 24-18. He's obviously the focal point of attention tonight.
Yeah, and I want you to take a look at here. Look at Dan Marley. He will not help here. They're paying attention to Allen Houston, staying home. He allows Larry Johnson to get in the paint. He doesn't care. They will not allow Allen Houston to get open shots. And he has to do it all night. Here's Dan Marley again, just tracing, following Allen Houston everywhere, hand in the face. Pat Riley is real happy so far with the defense.
Well, the Charlotte Hornets decided to go ball for the playoffs. Marley went the other direction.
Yeah, he wanted to grow hair. We talked about offense. Right now, Miami has 19 points already.
Hitting 8 of 12, including 4 of 4 from the perimeter. Allen Houston still 0 for the night. 0 for 3 for Houston. At the other end, Johnson tips that one out of bounds.
See, what I like what Miami's doing so far, Vern, they're attacking. Every set they've gotten into it very early in the offense, and they're attacking the Knicks. Right now, the Knicks are playing half court, and with their sides, they need to be the team that's going to do the attack.
You thought they might go to the running game.
Yeah, I think that's what Jeff Van Gundy wanted. The problem is when you're taking it from out of bounds every time, you can't run a whole bunch.
Pass to Alonzo Mourning for 2 more. A 16-4 Miami run. Now Hardaway and Charlie Ward chatting with each other.
I think it's Hardaway talking more.
Hardaway went for the steal, didn't get it. Mills misses. Strong defense by Miami.
Yeah, they're everywhere. They're helping off of everybody except for Allen Houston, and they're attacking.
Alonzo Mourning with the tip. Loose ball foul is called. On Mourning, his second.
Yeah, that's a big foul.
Much has been made of the new demeanor of Alonzo Mourning in the latter part of this season.
Well, he just told himself to keep it zipped, and we're taking a look at it there. And quite honestly, Vern, I don't see it. You might have been able to call it early on over Oakley, but they didn't call it on that one. After that, I didn't see a foul.
Second foul on Mourning. He takes a seat, and Jamal Mashburn comes on the floor. Johnson underneath. Mashburn with a rebound. A 10-3 Miami edge in rebounding so far.
Well, Miami has an edge in every area right now.
Hardaway kicks it out to Marley. Now Vashawn Leonard. Mills has him.
See, that's a big play. Pat Riley told us this morning that he wants Vashawn Leonard to drive the ball more.
Now Riley, who keeps stats on everything, every breath you take.
He does. It's amazing.
Over the course of the season, he said, Vashawn Leonard has 1 drive for every 7 jump shots he takes.
And he said that's why teams are stopping him. It's pretty easy to stop a guy when you know he's going to shoot a jumper every time. You can get out to him. But when that jump shooter starts putting the ball on the floor, it makes it much tougher to guard. You can see the numbers. This is why the Knicks have stopped him. They're always around him. The first time, right there, you saw Vashawn Leonard grab it and go. That's from the little 4 days of training camp.
Up in Boca Raton, Chris Childs has come on now. A lot of expectation that he needs to have a big series for the Knicks to win this one. He goes for Chris Mills. Oakley. Now Mills guarded by Leonard. Marley continues to shadow Allen Houston. Mills, loose ball foul on the Knicks.
Loose ball foul on the Knicks, number 30.
Charles Oakley.
Well, Charles Oakley's been banging all day, but look at the job. Right now, with Sean Leonard guarding Mills, the Knicks have decided to try to post up Mills.
Miami by 15. And we've still got 4:15 to go first quarter. Leonard penetrates again, kicks it out. Marley. That one taken away by Larry Johnson as Marley lost the dribble, and he immediately throws it away.
Boy, it's amazing. Right now, everything going right for Miami. And I think the key thing is that they are really getting to their offense. They're getting every shot they want. I'm watching Dan Marley move around right now, Vern, and I think his back is bothering him a little bit.
Marley also suffering from a hernia. Leonard in and out. Chris Childs brings it up for the Knicks. They are down 23-8. Fronted Larry Johnson. He gets loose, does not get the basket, but will go to the free throw line.
Heat foul number 24, Jamal Mashburn, is first, team's third.
Well, you can see the Knicks defense right here. Look at the help by Larry Johnson and get back. The Knicks are great at helping and getting back to their own men.
Johnson shoots free throws. Another night loaded with action on the Turner Networks tonight. The Nets and the Bulls begin game one on TNT at 8 o'clock. Our next game on TBS, Minnesota and Seattle in game one from Seattle. And then the second game of the doubleheader on TNT, Portland and Los Angeles, game one. And John Starks on the floor as Johnson gets the bounce.
Well, they need John Starks because Jeff Van Gundy is looking up at the scoreboard, and they have 10 points. He wants some offense. John Starks has struggled towards the end of the year, so they would love to get John Starks back into the fold.
Here's Deshaun Leonard. Starks picks him up defensively. And P.J. Brown with the pick. Here's Leonard off the screen. Oakley looks down court, fires it, got it perfect.
And that's bigger than you think. We were talking about it this morning, and Jeff Van Gundy said he would really like John to make his first two shots. That might get him going. The best way to get going is going to the basket. A layup helps.
John Starks with a miserable second half of the season, and particularly against the Miami Heat. He's hitting 27%.
And you can see John Starks right away release right after this shot. Right when he saw Oakley had the ball, and Oakley loved making this pass.
Foul was called on John Starks, his first. 3:05 to go, opening quarter, 23-12. Childs guards Hardaway. Mashburn picked up by Johnson. All of a sudden, the Heat have gone cold.
Yeah, they have, and I think that's right when Alonzo Mourning went out of the game. It's a little easier to guard them when you don't have to double team the big man.
Oakley from Childs. Childs, nice pass. Nice reverse layup. Larry Johnson, it's 23-14.
And it's also no coincidence that right when Mourning went out, the Knicks start attacking the basket, getting layups.
6-0 New York run has cut the lead to 9. 2.5 to go in the opening stanza. Here's Mashburn. Quick entry pass to P.J. Brown. Foul before the shot.
Well, right at the end, you're seeing great passing from the Knicks. Chris Childs, Larry Johnson.
Timeout, Knicks.
I'll be known as a guy that flipped that guy, so there's no way I can get away from it.
P.J. Brown throws Charlie Ward. Watch out.
I got kind of caught up in the emotion of the game, and I said that it'll never happen again.
That happened on May 14th here. The Knicks were trailing by 15 when the incident occurred. Miami went on to win that game to make it a 3-2 series edge for New York, but 5 New York Knicks suspended, and Miami won the next 2 games.
Yeah, that was a big turnaround. And right now you're watching this game, and P.J. Brown is just having his way with anybody who's guarding him. It's no coincidence right now. They come out of the timeout, and Charles Oakley has just switched on P.J. Brown.
Now, Larry Johnson wasn't getting the job done. It's Johnson on Mashburn now. Hardaway, Chris Childs. And Hardaway backs him down.
Exactly. He bullied him. That's the second time. The first time, he basically ran over Charlie Ward and got a basket, and it wasn't a charge. He's doing the right thing. Tim Hardaway is a guy who can score in every way. He can post you, and that's what he's doing right here. He can shoot the three-pointer. He has the in-between game. He's the complete package when you talk about scoring.
Gets the first.
And you know Jeff Van Gundy's a little worried because he's thinking Hardaway doesn't play well against us for 3 quarters and he kills us in the 4th. He's playing well now, so what happens in the 4th quarter?
Well, it was Hardaway who ignited the Heat in Game 7 of the conference semifinals last year. 38 points in that one. A Miami victory.
2 minutes left.
Houston. That's his first basket.
That's his first basket. Only his 3rd touch, really, of the game. And that tells you the job that Dan Marley has done.
Backcourt, foul called on Childs. Wow.
This is one of Childs' weaknesses right now. He's getting into a little contest with Hardaway. You can do that, but you have to keep your composure and stay in the game. That's the 2nd foul early on Chris Childs. They need him on the court.
And Hardaway goes back to the free throw line.
I mean, he made a comment in the paper, Chris Childs, about the only guy he really hates is Michael Jordan. And we're laughing because I'm thinking Jordan really could care less. You know.
Probably not high on Jordan's list of concerns.
No. Right now he's thinking championship and can they come back? Can they play again?
Childs on the court because he's a better defender than Charlie Ward.
And you know what else he can do? He can break down defense with quickness. Now, Charlie Ward, I still think, runs the team better, but I think Chris Childs is better suited for this type of basketball.
Eric Murdoch has come in for Miami, and he picks up Childs defensively. Here's Starks. Nope, a rebound in the hands of P.J. Brown. Or Eric Murdoch, rather. Hardaway, now guarded by Starks. Crossover dribble, Hardaway. Good job from Starks. Allen Houston gets the misfire, comes right. Dan Marley back. Houston. Now Hardaway, and he fouls him.
But you can see, even on a fast break, usually on a fast break, you want to go in the paint. Not that time. Look here. Look at the defense. Watch John Starks' hand. He keeps it down to try to take away Tim Hardaway's crossover dribble, and that forces Hardaway to only go one way.
Foul on Hardaway. Childs. Alley-oop. Allen Houston was bumped and thought he was going to be going to the free throw line. Touch pass back to Hardaway for 3.
But you know what? While he was complaining, the Miami Heat was running the basketball. That was his guy who made that shot.
Back to a 14-point margin. Final minute, opening quarter. Starks. Foul, P.J. Brown.
Well, right now, John Starks is just playing wild, but it's effective because he just got a foul on P.J. Brown from being wild. Jeff Van Gundy likes this. He says John Starks has lost his focus, hasn't played with emotion. That's emotional basketball.
John, never known as a great practice player.
No.
The team has been in Charleston this week. We asked Jeff Van Gundy how about John Starks at practice this week. He said for Starks it was a good week. For the rest of the human race, only fair.
Yes.
Let's quickly check in with Brian Burwell. Problems with Brian's equipment, apparently. Starks 1 of 2. Hardaway back to Mashburn. Murdoch. Hardaway. I'm not sure about that shot.
No, but with Tim Hardaway, you're never sure because he's a guy, none of his shots look great, but so many of them go in. So you don't know if he's taking a good shot or a bad shot. That'd be tough as a coach.
I don't know that Riley and Hardaway have the best relationship, you think?
I think Hardaway stands up to him more than Riley would like. But I think they both respect each other, and Pat Riley allows him to play.
Riley quoted this week as saying, sometimes we need to rein Tim in. Stolen by Murdoch and Marley. At the buzzer. We have reached the end of one. It's been a big first quarter for the Miami Heat. Not as explosive as their first game a year ago when they were up 35-10 over Orlando. But Tim Hardaway propels the Heat to a 13-point first quarter margin over New York. Fine at Miami Beach, Miami Arena, filled tonight. Alonzo Mourning on the bench with 2 fouls. Buck Williams comes into the ball game. 30-17. A big first quarter for Miami.
Yeah, 30 points. I mean, when you factor in the first 4 games, these teams averaged about 83 points between them. Miami gets 30 in the first quarter. That is huge. Pat Riley said it also. He said it's about offense. It's about who can score the most. We have to find ways of scoring points. They did.
Chris Childs picked up by Murdoch. Here's John Starks. Larry Johnson. Rotation from Jamal Mashburn. Here's Starks. That's for 3. Way off the mark. B.J. Brown. Good box out in position. He's already got 6 rebounds.
Yeah, I think he's having a dominating game, especially with the absence of Alonzo Mourning. Now, I think Pat Riley will rest Alonzo Mourning as long as he can. He's not going to look at the clock. I think he's going to look at the scoreboard and when he'll put Mourning back in.
Mashburn looks down at the line to make sure he's got a 3.
And I think he's the X factor in this entire series. If Mashburn plays well, I think the Knicks are in a lot of trouble.
A 16-point Miami lead. Houston fights for position. Marley follows it. Pump fake up short with the shot. He's now 1 of 7.
And he's had probably 1 good look the entire game so far.
Hardaway in the paint. Murdoch. Back to Hardaway. Starks guarding Hardaway. Turn around, off the mark.
And that's a point guard posting up a 2 guard.
Johnson at the other end. No good. Marley rebound. Goes for Mashburn and a foul is called.
Yeah, they're going to call that on John Starks. He tried to basically hold him. And you look at the attention, all from the beginning. They are bumping, they're pushing, they're grabbing, they're doing everything they can to stop Allen Houston. And basically, it's been all Dan Marley.
B.J. Brown gets a rest, and Keith Askins comes on. You look at the replay. And now Allen Houston 1 for 7. Heads to the bench. And Charlie Ward comes on. So it's going to be the 2-point guards and John Starks in the floor now for Jeff Van Gundy.
They're going to go small. Jeff Van Gundy, again, really wants to run. But you can't run if the other team is scoring every time they touch the ball.
Alonzo Mourning also back on the floor. Yes, he is.
Yes. Pat Riley's going for the throat early. He knows if he gets a big enough lead with the Knicks offense, it's going to be tough for them to get back in this game.
Childs looks for Starks. Now Larry Johnson has been the only offense New York has had here in the first half. Spin move, Johnson, not that time. Shot clock violation.
I think it hit the rim.
Yep. Dan Crawford is...
But the question now is they're going to have to decide after it hit the rim who got the ball. And what they're going to say, it's a jump ball. See, Jeff Van Gundy's upset because they had the ball. I think Buck Williams had the ball under the rim. I'm pretty sure it hit the rim.
Timeout on the court.
Right there,
Yep.
you could see it. And Buck Williams had the ball.
Well, maybe not the same impact as the shot clock controversy, but here we go.
Yes.
Sharp. He was really into what they were doing offensively and defensively. So it's going to be a different game for them this year when they can't go to Ike Austin.
Ike Austin, of course, is with the Los Angeles Clippers, or was. He's a free agent. Morning against Oakley, 2 of 4. Buck Williams, 1 of 1. What about the Chris Dudley option?
Well, I think that's going to have to be an option for 2 reasons. One, Alonzo Mourning, I don't care what they do, he's still taller than them. So he can get his shot off. 2, when you put Charles Oakley on Mourning, that makes the guy guarding P.J. Brown smaller. So then you have 2 advantages for Miami.
Illegal defense call on the Knicks. Their second. That'll lead to a technical, and we check in with Brian Burwell.
Jeff Van Gundy stressed 2 things in that huddle. Offensively, they're not getting any ball movement, and he was just really adamant about that. And defensively says, what did I tell you guys about pressuring the ball on defense? You're not doing it. Get up in their faces. Back to you, Vern.
All right, Brian.
Well, that's a good thought by Jeff Van Gundy. The reason they can't pressure the ball is because most of the Knicks shots are long shots, long rebounds, and often running are Miami. It's tough to pressure the ball when you're not making shots.
9:43 to go and a 19-point edge for the Miami Heat. Murdoch, Hardaway, Mourning, Mashburn, and Keith Askins on the floor. Here's John Starks with a rebound. Knicks desperately need some offense. And they're going to have Buck Williams going to the line as Alonzo Mourning picks up his 3rd foul and loses the face mask.
Yeah, and he's not upset at the officials right now. Alonzo Mourning is upset at himself because he couldn't stop. He saw the pass coming, and he wanted to get into the play so much. You could see it right there. He couldn't stop. That was one of those mistake fouls.
Well, a quick reappearance on the court for Alonzo Mourning. Sits with 3 fouls, but Miami has a 19-point edge.
Yeah, that's what Pat Riley is thinking right now. We have a 19-point edge. I don't have to worry about it. Quite honestly, I was surprised Mourning came in that quickly. I think Riley decided, let's go for it right now.
Mashburn, oh my, but it is rejected in the paint. Here comes Charlie Ward, Chris Childs, spin move, bad shot underneath. Out of control, off Askins, out of bounds. New York shot.
But see, this is the type of tempo New York wants, this up and down tempo, because they're used to going small. You can see the block here. We look at the crossover dribble, but the great help by Larry Johnson and often running for New York.
How bad has the Knicks offense been? They have 1 point, 1 in the last 4 minutes and 53 seconds.
Hey, right here, stay right here.
Well, we knew we would be saying that, but we thought we'd be saying it for both teams.
Charlie Ward, Chris Mills, Starks, Buck Williams, Chris Childs for the Knicks. Buck Williams. Here's Childs with a penetration kick out. And they get a 2. Charlie Ward was on the line.
Well, that's what Jeff Van Gundy was saying with Chris Childs. He said, we obviously need his defense on Hardaway, but we need him not to shoot jumpers, put it on the floor, and create shots.
Eric Murdoch in the corner. Askins. Tipped by John Starks and out of bounds.
When you look at the perimeter shooting right now, Vern, it's not even close.
P.J. Brown and Mashburn. Mills has it. Foul before the shot.
If Mashburn has missed some games, it sure does not look like it. He looks awful good. And I know people are saying, well, he's been resting. He's fresh. He might be fresh, but usually you don't have the timing. And like Riley said, you don't have the war mentality. You lose that.
Bashawn Leonard back in for Tim Hardaway. 14 first quarter points. And 1 on the technical in this quarter, so Hardaway gets a rest.
This is the big run for Miami right now. They have Tim Hardaway out and Alonzo Mourning out. So who's going to score? P.J. Brown and Mashburn.
Foul called.
Number 21, Charlie Ward, his first.
Charlie Ward picks up his first. And P.J. Brown goes to the free throw line.
When you look at P.J. Brown, and when you talk about Miami, everyone talks about Mashburn. They talk about Tim Hardaway and Alonzo Mourning, and they should. But I think he's Joe Steady. He's always there. He just plays his game. He plays hard. He plays well most of the time, and he's doing it again tonight.
Miami perfect at the line. Another miss, and Mashburn with a rebound. Here comes Murdoch. 8 minutes to go, first half. Miami in control of this game. Oh, my goodness. 40-19.
Ernie Johnson in Atlanta. In about 6 minutes on TNT, it'll be the Bulls taking on the Nets. Keith Van Horn of New Jersey has been bothered by the stomach flu the last couple of days. It'll be a game-time decision as to whether or not he starts. Jason Williams will not start. He's been out with a bad thumb, but he will play for the first time since March 27th. That comes your way on TNT about 6 minutes from now. Back to Miami.
All right, EJ. Jason Williams missed the last 8 regular season games. Potentially an interesting matchup.
Yeah, I think it really will be.
Charlie Ward, Child, Buck Williams, John Starks, and Chris Mills. 40-19. Buck Williams. Starks, nice move.
Well, I think that's what you have to do. Right now, Miami is doing a sensational job guarding the perimeter, so someone has to put the ball on the floor.
New York now 2 of its last 12 from the field. And we have 7:25 to go in the first half of play. Excuse me. I got choked up at the deficit. Mills off the miss. Rashawn Leonard comes from behind. Haskins and Leonard, one of the others going to get the foul. It's going to be Rashawn.
Boy, I tell you what, that was a smart play by Keith Haskins. Now watch this. He sees Rashawn Leonard sneaking up behind John Starks, so he's going to try to turn him. He turns him. That's how Rashawn Leonard gets into play. The problem is it was a foul. That's a smart play. And here's Starks before. You guard the perimeter, you have to attack the basket. John Starks is doing that.
Allen Houston back on the floor. Tough night thus far. 1 of 7.
Well, it didn't take long. When Allen Houston comes on the floor, he gets attention right away. He causes a foul. Keith Haskins.
Dan Marley did a superb job on Allen Houston in the first quarter. Marley rests now, and Haskins picks up Houston. Charlie Ward. Here's Houston. Switch with Mashburn. From the corner, Chris Mills as Mashburn went out to help.
But again, that was all set up by Allen Houston. Because if you can double team, if you can get a team to double team, you can move the ball and find open shooters.
17-point deficit now, 6:38 to go before the halftime break. Mashburn, who missed 31 games this season with a fractured thumb, but kept in shape throughout that time on the injury.
Well, that's the good thing with the hand injury. With the hand injury, you can still work your legs.
Traveling, that's only the 3rd Miami turnover of the night. Johnson leads New York. Hardaway, 14 of his 15 came in the first quarter.
I was just looking over at the bench, and I was thinking Tim Hardaway will be back in this game, and he's on his way.
So also is Dan Marley. Ward. Saved by Starks. Jump stop back to Ward. That's for 3.
And this is the effect of having Alonzo Mourning and Tim Hardaway out of the game. Miami is struggling scoring points.
A 7-0 run for New York has Pat Riley calling timeout. 5:56 to go. It's a 22nd timeout. TNT.
Well, here again, once again, dribble penetration, and kick. This is what happens. John Starks drives. Charlie Ward gets an open shot. Wasn't the best pass I've seen of late, but it worked.
40-26.
But you know, Bert, any pass that works is a good pass.
Starks 2 of 4 tonight.
Well, I think he wants to redeem the end of his season. Bert, he wants to come in and have a solid playoff.
Murdoch, Mashburn, P.J. Brown, Haskins, and Hardaway. Here's Starks. They go underneath the Mashburn. It's knocked out of bounds by Charlie Ward.
The Heat, Dan Marley back in the game. He replaces Keith Haskins.
Dan Marley, having rested that sore back, is back on the floor. Haskins will head to the bench.
I don't know if Murdoch knows how much time is on the clock right now.
1 second.
Yeah.
And he misses off the front rim. Ward, Murdoch picks him up. Offensive foul.
Oh, that was a great guess. That was a great guess. Murdoch was a great pickup for the Heat. He's done so many good things. Obviously, his defense has been terrific, but what he's done most is he's another guy who can break the defense down and get into the paint.
5:25 to go before the halftime break. Mashburn for 3. P.J. Brown's going to get this one.
Loose ball foul on the Knicks, number 20.
Nope. Beg pardon. Allen Houston.
Team foul number 4.
P.J. Brown is causing the Knicks headaches right now.
And Marley will throw it in for Miami. Here's Murdoch. Underneath, what a pass.
Oh, my. Through a double team.
Murdoch with his 3rd assist, 5 minutes to go before the break. 16-point margin. Starks with the dish. Mills misses the layup. Then the rejection. Loose ball. Murdoch. Marley. Murdoch. Celebrate. And a chance for a 3-point play at the other end.
Well, Eric Murdoch can't believe that there was no foul on that drive. I mean, Eric Murdoch goes all the way to the paint and nothing. Look at the contact. Look at the diving players. And all Miami. And look at this. Murdoch can't believe that there was no call on that. Watch P.J. Brown show here on defense. Or on offense, I'm sorry, and gets an easy dunk, but the pass was better than what P.J. Brown did.
Starks at the other end for the Knicks, gets 2 and has a chance to add 1 more. But New York is looking at a 15-point chasm now.
Yeah, and that is big. For some teams like Seattle, the Lakers, it's not that big. For the Knicks, that's huge.
Danny Crawford with this call. Looks like Mashburn had a cut, so he's going to get some medical attention. And we'll have to sit till they take care of it.
I think that is such a silly rule. It's amazing to me. They just stopped the game because the guy was cut. Amazing. You see boxers just clubbing each other to death. When they start bleeding, they don't stop.
P.J. Brown, Murdoch. Marley sets the screen. Set it pretty hard. Off the front rim, rebound John Starks. Starks takes it all the way. No. Rebound Murdoch. Haskins out on the run. Back to Hardaway.
I tell you what, every time the Knicks shoot and miss, it's the Miami Heat who are doing the attacking.
46-29, under 4 to go before the halftime break. Allen Houston has not taken a shot since he came back after an extended rest.
They're not allowing him to. He's trying to get him, but the defense is better than his offense right now. You knew that they were going to give a great defensive effort on Allen Houston. When you read the papers for the last 5 days, we talked to Pat Riley this morning. He didn't talk about any other player except for Allen Houston. He had every stat possible on the guy.
Well, Marley and Askins have done the job tonight. Deshaun Leonard had him for a short time.
And Riley gave us stats when he shoots threes, how many times he chews his gum before he takes a shot. It was unbelievable. I want to know who's doing the counting.
46-31, 3:35 before halftime. Illegal defense called again. That's the third against the Knicks tonight. And we'll see a technical and a free throw.
Well, you can see right here. Here's Tim Hardaway here, and look at everyone else all around. Just watching. Everyone's paying attention.
Hardaway makes the free throw. And a timeout has been called with 3:31 to go before halftime. Miami big. And Bo Outlaw had a terrific season.
He's one of my favorite players to watch because he can score 20 points without having one play called for him.
Van Gundy could use him right now.
Yes, he could. He could use his effort.
Marley will inbound for the Miami Heat with Murdoch, Hardaway, P.J. Brown. Alonzo Mourning on the bench with 3 fouls, but Miami jumped out to that quick 15-point lead in the first quarter, and then Hardaway.
It's P.J. Brown. P.J. Brown just set a great pick, and the way he sets the picks, he's running so hard at the guy setting the pick. He's doing a phenomenal job.
Illegal defense called on Miami. That's the first on the Heat tonight. Watch the pick of P.J. Brown.
And just watch where he runs from. Look how hard he runs. I mean, he's in a full sprint to set a pick. How often do you see that? And that's why Hardaway gets the open jumper. Little things.
Here's Johnson. Charlie Ward. Oakley. Starks. A little sloppy for the Knicks. Larry Johnson. P.J. Brown defends. The double comes. Charlie Ward spots up in the corner and shoots an air ball. And a loose ball foul at the end of the play.
The Knicks are getting no easy shots. Nothing's coming easy for them. Pat Riley has this team prepared.
Because of the defensive effort of Miami. New York, miserable from the field, 33% so far. Oakley at the free throw line.
I mean, usually before a game, Pat Riley has these blue cards that he keeps, and it's usually about 1 or 2. When we're in his office today, there had to be 30 blue cards full of writing. I don't know when he's going to have enough time during the game to read them all.
Now, he told us that he's much less stressed than he was when he was in New York. You played for him there.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I do. He gives them more days off. The practices are no longer 5 hours. They're 3 hours. Still very long. But he's more relaxed. I think he's really content where he's at right now.
Well, we chatted last night about the USA Today poll of players and coaches that was published in yesterday's paper. Here's a save by Murdoch.
But P.J. Brown, once again, keeping things alive.
Players vote. The #1 coach for whom the NBA players would like to play in that list was Pat Riley. He said he was very flattered by
Yeah, he was. You know, that speaks volumes because you always hear people say that NBA players don't want to work. If that's true, why do you want to play for Pat Riley? P.J. Brown.
2 minutes to go.
2 minutes left in the half.
It's been a rout.
It's been a sensational route, though, when you watch the way Miami has played.
Allen Houston finally gets his second basket tonight. He's now 2 for 8.
Well, for the Knicks to get back in this game, he's going to have a superhuman second half. A Glenn Rice-type second half. Or Steve Smith. I think they take either one.
They lit up last night in Charlotte. Hardaway in and out. Oakley loses it. Knocked away by P.J. Brown.
Oh, man.
Hardaway back to Askins. Well, what the heck?
That's what that shot was, Bird. You're right.
And there is Marley.
Everywhere.
Back to a 19-point margin. Allen Houston penetrates, puts it up left-handed. Dan Marley at the offensive end.
And you watch Dan Marley, Bird, I'm telling you right now, he is in a ton of pain, yet he always gives you plays like that. I mean, you watch him run, you watch him move, he's hurting. And P.J. Brown has been everywhere. He's done it with picks that you get no credit for. He's done it by just keeping the ball alive, and he's killing them on the offensive glass.
Allen Houston gets it first. Anthony Bowie's going to come on for the Knicks, replacing John Starks. And Dan Marley will get a rest, and Jamal Mashburn's back on the floor.
We've seen the Heat play several games this year, and I would say this ranks up there with the Utah game when he beat Utah in Utah. If Pat Riley can keep this team playing like this, they're dangerous.
Mashburn with a pick on Anthony Bowie. Askins in the corner, back to Murdoch. Turnover. Hardaway says, I was over here for crying out loud.
Yeah, I tell you what, they wanted a clear out for Murdoch, but the players didn't understand Pat Riley. He got so upset it made him sit down.
Coming up in the Nike halftime report, Kenny Smith and Chuck Daly will join Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios. Scores and highlights from another full night of NBA playoff action and a preview of tonight's later games. Foul on Larry Johnson.
And a late pick. Allen Houston was open already, and Larry Johnson just leveled Keith Askins.
2 of 8 shooting. They needed a big night.
Yeah, and they needed it early.
And it was Dan Marley who set the theme early on with his defense of Allen Houston. Hardaway will go one-on-one. Now the switch defensively. Here's Hardaway. Well, why
not? Golly.
And he takes time to look over at Doc Rivers and wink.
Wink his eye because he's feeling it. And he's having a good time.
There's another rebound. Murdoch at the buzzer. No. Alonzo Mourning picked up 3 quick fouls. He played 8 minutes of the first half. Despite that, P.J. Brown's huge effort, 12 points on 5 of 7 and 9 first half rebounds. Boy, complemented by Tim Hardaway's shooting, and it's a 20-point Miami lead.
Yeah, I agree with that. I thought Allen Houston did a good job moving the ball. Every time he got double teamed, he passed the ball out. The problem is the ball didn't go in back to him or in the basket, and that's a problem.
Remember, before the game began, Doc talked about the 3 men who would have responsibility for him tonight. Allen Houston, 2 of 6 against Dan Marley, has not scored against Keith Askins, nor has he scored in the short time he was guarded by Vashawn Leonard. And you kind of are at odds with the decision to post him up.
Well, I liked it before the game started. But now watching it, you know, Jeff Van Gundy made a decision. He said, we're going to put Allen Houston on a post and let him play out there. The way it's turned out, I don't like it. I think Allen Houston needs room. He needs to have the ball, live dribble, ISO, so he can create his own space.
Alonzo Mourning back on the floor as we begin quarter number 3. Charlie Ward picked up by Tim Hardaway. And again, they go to the post with Allen Houston. Marley back on him. Here's Oakley, who was not a factor in the first half and is not on that first play.
And they need Oakley more than the obvious, those hustle plays. They need Oakley to make shots, because the more shots he makes, the less that Allen or P.J. Brown would want to go and help.
Here's P.J. Brown out on the perimeter. Underneath for Alonzo Mourning, and he's shoved in the back. Larry Johnson.
Team's first.
And it was a good call. You see Larry Johnson complaining. I don't really know why, because that was a good call.
Third personal foul on Larry Johnson. Oakley on the switch. Back it goes to P.J. Brown. Oakley tries to hustle back. Charlie Ward gets the rebound on this shot.
See, it's key right now for Miami to start with the same energy that they had in the first half.
Larry Johnson gets the first basket of the half.
If the Knicks run off 4 or 6 points, Pat Riley will call a quick timeout. He wants the same energy. He needs the same energy that they played with in the first half.
Underneath to Alonzo Mourning. Quickly double team on the catch. And a technical foul is called on
Charles
Oakley. Yep.
Yeah, and he kicked the ball in the stands. Now, I don't think he kicked it because of the call from the officials. He just kicked the ball. I don't know why, but it wasn't over the call. And you can see it here. Alonzo Mourning, Charles Oakley decides he's going to front. 3 guys get there, but all are late, and here's the kick. You can see that was more frustration at himself. But
I think he's just excited that the World Cup is coming up in June.
Boy, I tell you, that was a nice kick.
It was. Jimmy Johnson might be interested in that.
That's for sure.
Alonzo Mourning. Charles Oakley appears bemused.
I saw a sign today, Miami coach capital. Pat Riley, Jimmy Johnson, pretty impressive coaches, and Jimmy Leyland.
Alonzo Mourning gets the first. Rebound Larry Johnson, 59-39. Game 2 here in Miami on Sunday on NBC. There's Allen Houston.
See, that's where he's more effective, when he has the ball in his hands and he can do something with it. I don't like him right now with his back to the basket because I don't think that makes him aggressive.
P.J. Brown, Vashawn Leonard.
Oh, boy. That's just bad defense. And that's what Jeff Van Gundy was talking about. We're giving their good shooters open, good looks.
Second 3 for Vashawn Leonard tonight. And the Miami Heat open up a 21-point lead. Marley on Houston again. Oakley finds Chris Mills. Drives. Gives it to Larry Johnson. Back to Mills. Tough shot. Hardaway pulls up for 3. Loose ball picked up by Johnson for New York. Allen Houston off the dribble. Loses it.
Great defense by Dan Marley.
Here's Hardaway at the other end. Marley spots up, and then Houston gets over there. P.J. Brown kicks it out. Hardaway.
Oh,
Find out how Tim Hardaway got so open.
Well, because P.J. Brown got so deep. Look how deep P.J. Brown gets. You'll see Charles Oakley go and help. Charles Oakley go back. Charlie Ward goes to help, and when Charlie helps, he leaves Tim Hardaway wide open.
Prior to that shot, the curl from Allen Houston for New York.
Yeah, and this is the one time he has scored in the second half. No post. He's facing the basket. He's being aggressive. And then he comes right back, has what he wants, but look at the strip. Dan Marley at the last second. Never are you out of a play defensively.
24-point lead for the Miami Heat. 9:26 to go, third quarter.
Well, you just wonder if Dan Marley was healthy, how good he would be.
Back problems for quite some time now. And that is complicated by a hernia that he's suffering from right now. Here's Larry
That's
Johnson.
number 4 on Alonzo Mourning.
He found number 33, Alonzo Mourning, is 4 teams first.
And something of which we've not seen a lot.
No, he's upset now. And you know what? When you have a lead by 22, you can get upset a little bit and get away with it. And I think that's what Alonzo Mourning is thinking.
Well, he will unhappily take a seat almost in the crowd down at the far reaches of the bench.
Yeah, but Pat Riley, again, he's just going to watch. He has to not bring Mourning in till the 4th quarter. But with this lead, all he wants to do is maintain. And if they can do what they did in the first half, you might not see Mourning the rest of the game.
Hardaway, Jamal Mashburn on the floor now. Here's Rashawn Leonard, kicks it back to Marley for 3. That one out of bounds, and Charlie Ward will throw it in for New York.
We talked about good looks. You know, 9 for 14 and 5 for 10 is the big difference in this game.
Underneath Oakley, and there's Mashburn, who fouls him. What do you mean by a good look?
When I say a good look, it's an open shot. Somebody dribble penetrates, you throw the ball out, you have an open shot at the basket with not a defender in your face or one running at you. That's still a good shot. The Knicks are getting them, they're missing them. Usually you like 50%, right, Vern? Not tonight.
And if you think back to the opening play of this night, Tim Hardaway had a good look on a three-pointer.
And all have been Miami. They're forcing the Knicks to double team. They're forcing them due to their size. The only surprise so far in this game is that we haven't seen Chris Dudley. I think he can have an effect because he is a big guy. And maybe they wouldn't have to double team with him in the game. Jeff Van Gundy told us he was not going to use him unless he really needed him. When you're down by 20, you need him or something. You need the guy looking at the stat sheet right now.
Patrick Ewing at the end of the shoot-around this morning, you saw him hit, what, 8 in a row?
Yeah, and he challenged me to a shooting contest, which I thought was foolish on his part.
But I noticed you didn't accept.
You're right. I'm smart.
Oakley, skip pass. Mills, nope.
Another good look, wide open, nothing. Now this is a tough look, but it could go in because it's Allen Houston.
Riley talking about his ability to raise above everybody in the paint. Rise above everybody. Jump up. 65-48. Brown saves it. 4 on the shot clock. Charlie Ward from Oakley. And that one is inadvertently kicked.
And that's a big break for Miami because the Knicks had numbers. Had a chance to cut it to 15 points, which is significant in this game so far.
Down by 17 right now. Here's Charlie Ward. Marley in Houston, and this one will go against Allen Houston.
Well, I got to tell you, I'd like to see that one again. That is an interesting one because they were both tangled up. And you look at this, that's Dan Marley grabbing first. Yeah, there's a good one. Earl Monroe, the Pearl. Wow.
We've got Earl the Pearl and Walt Frazier in the building tonight.
Yeah, I take those two over any backcourt in the history of the game.
7:33. There he is, Walt Frazier. I wonder how optimistic his broadcast is tonight.
Oh, my.
65-48, 7:25 to go, third quarter. Mashburn, Marley. And here's Hardaway. Charlie Ward with the steal. Puts it in the hands of Chris Mills. Leonard back on Mills. Quick pass to Larry Johnson. Nice penetration. Shot not there. Mashburn for Miami.
Mashburn, nice job on Larry Johnson.
Leonard for three. Oakley.
Well, Miami now is starting to struggle scoring points, but New York is not capitalizing on it at all.
New York for the night still under 40% from the floor. Nice pass.
Oh, nice pass.
Beautiful pass from Charlie Ward. A 9-0 run has cut the lead. As you said earlier, it's amazing to talk about cutting the lead to 15.
Yeah, but it happened right when Alonzo Mourning went out.
6-0 since Mourning picked up his fourth foul. Hardaway says that's enough.
That's leadership. You know, that shot no one will talk about, but that's a big, big shot for the Heat.
Tim Hardaway tonight has 30 points. We still have 6:05 to go third quarter. He had 38 Game 7 Eastern Conference semifinals last year.
Boy, they are playing Allen Houston as well as you can play him.
Hardaway this time. Charlie Ward gets it. 3-on-1. Allen Houston. Leonard will send him to the free throw line.
Even that was a smart play by Miami. They don't want to give him anything. I want you to take a look at the backdoor cut by Charles Oakley. Here's Oakley. Watch the cut here going back. Just take a look at him. They help. He goes. The key there, Jamal Mashburn took his eyes off the basketball. Always see the basketball on defense.
That was Oakley's first field goal tonight. Allen Houston gets the first free throw of 2.
Well, the only other guy that Pat Riley even mentioned after he told us about Allen Houston for an hour was Charles Oakley.
Right.
He said, those are the two guys we want to stop. Charles Oakley sits out there and makes those little short-range jumpers. Tonight, Oakley's getting nothing. Allen Houston is getting nothing.
Tim Hardaway with 30 points so far puts it in Jamal Mashburn's hands. Off the dribble, Larry Johnson defending. Johnson gets the rebound off the miss by Mashburn.
And that was just great defense from Larry Johnson. Miami is really struggling right now scoring points, and it's the same theme as last night. Go to the guy who can get you buckets, and that's Tim Hardaway for Miami.
Johnson underneath, and he'll go to the free throw line.
I mean, watch Larry Johnson here using his body, beating Mashburn to the spot. Mashburn goes the other way. He uses his body. He moves his feet, beats him to the spot, hand up in the face. That's a defensive clinic right there.
Mashburn picks up his third foul. Lead at 14. One more. John starts.
Well, there's players everywhere. I turn around, Nick Anderson just walked by. It's unbelievable in this building. Yep. There he is right there.
Going to the basket.
Great second half, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And it's nice to see for a nice man.
Yeah, I agree.
That one, Mashburn misses. Oakley tracks it down. Well, the lead has been cut to 13.
Yeah. I tell you what, there's reason for concern right now because there's still 4.5 minutes left, and I don't think Pat Riley can go with Alonzo Mourning. So someone else has to score points.
Ward, penetration, goes down hard, goes to the free throw line. John Starks up and yelling. And Mashburn has picked up his fourth foul.
That's his fourth foul, and the reason that it was a foul is because Mashburn was in the dotted lines. Look at this crossover. This is the second great one from Mashburn. He crossed him over with the ball, and then he tripped him. Wow.
That's only the second miss for New York at the free throw line tonight. They are now 17 of 19.
See, this is a great move by Pat Riley. He's bringing Eric Murdoch in. He's taking Mashburn out. Now, that you're saying a lot of size going out. He's bringing Murdoch in so he can run the point. He wants scoring. He's going to make Tim Hardaway a two-guard now so Hardaway can be the scorer.
So on the floor for Miami, you've got Vashawn Leonard, Hardaway, and here's Eric Murdoch at the point, picked up by Chris Mills.
And I wouldn't be surprised to see Tim Hardaway go down in the post.
Looked like he was going to then. Off the dribble by Charlie Ward.
Yeah, that's smart basketball, though. That is just brilliant basketball from Pat Riley. They're struggling offensively, so what do? You take Tim Hardaway from running the point, you give him the ball at the two-guard spot, and you tell him you're a scorer. He gets the ball. You don't have to tell him to shoot but one time, and that's what Pat Riley did, and he's gone. Look at this. Boy, he just blew by Charlie Ward.
Now Murdoch, Leonard, P.J. Brown. Oakley comes flying. Miami as cold as New York was in the first quarter. And another foul, this one on P.J. Brown.
And they're in the penalty. The clock stops. And they can extend this third quarter by making the clock stop with fouls. The longer this quarter lasts, that means Alonzo Mourning is still not out. He can't come in the game with 4 fouls.
Oakley at the free throw line. Mourning sits with 4 fouls. Miami an edge in rebounding of 3. Oakley gets the first of 2, and the lead, amazingly, is at 11. It's been 12-2 since Zoe left.
I got to say, though, it's the slowest run we have ever seen, but it's still a run, and they're getting back in this game.
Oakley hits 2. The lead is 10.
You can see Riley standing there contemplating timeout. Didn't call it. But see, there they go. They're putting Hardaway in the post. Smart move. They're going to try to force a double team and a shot.
There's Mills coming with a double team, and he picks up the foul.
That's smart. First, you bring in Murdoch to run the point. Second, you put Hardaway down on the post to force a double team. And you can see it coming late. Here it comes. Mills. And there's the foul.
That is the 4th foul on Chris Mills. He sits. John Starks comes back on the floor for New York. And Starks will guard Hardaway.
And see, this is a chess game. Starks is on Hardaway now because he's taller. They're going to try to take that post-up option away.
Charlie Ward has Marley and Larry Johnson for the moment on the switch on Murdoch. And Murdoch wants to take him off the dribble. Good job by Johnson. Whoops,
oh, my.
Almost.
Oh, my goodness. Larry Johnson played great defense for 22 seconds. But those other 2 seconds were phenomenal from Eric Murdoch. Wow. He gave him the up and under move of a Kevin McHale. Now, this is a point guard. He had to learn this from Tim Hardaway in practice. Wow. And this is what you call the great Cody defense.
That looks like a scene from My Fair Lady. Can we dance?
Wow, look at that.
Their hearts and minds will follow. With 4 for New York. Charlie Ward has 3. Mashburn and Mourning both with 4 for Miami.
And those are a little bit more important, though Larry Johnson is starting to play really well.
Now Murdoch trying to complete a 3-point effort. Got it.
And that is the biggest play of the game so far. There was a 10-point lead for Miami. It looked like they had Miami stopped, and they get a 3-point play.
Charlie Ward, Allen Houston, Marley. The double comes from Murdoch. How about Marley's defense? And then how about Johnson with the putback?
Yeah, or Allen Houston just stayed with it. But again, great defense. Marley slid with him, was beat a little bit, but Murdoch's help. 3 guys came to help on Allen Houston.
Riley still goes with his 3-guard lineup, plus P.J. Brown. Marley over in the wing. Here's Deshaun Leonard. Nope. Rebound Mills. Mills on the floor with 4 fouls. Charlie Ward. Oakley. Oakley.
He has to make that shot.
Instead, he makes a bad pass.
Yeah, he has to take it. He's wide open, and he didn't take that shot. That's what Jeff Van Gundy wanted him to do. Now, watch here. Allen Houston has a little bit of advantage on Dan Marley, but look at Eric Murdoch slide in. Nice collision. No call. I like no call.
Murdoch now with the ball in his hand. Chris Mills has him. Isolation play. Murdoch Hit it again.
Pat Riley, you know, we talked to him this morning, and we said, besides Hardaway and Mashburn, you really don't have anyone else. And he said Eric Murdoch can take anybody off the dribble.
Back-to-back big plays now from Eric Murdoch at the offensive end. Loose ball foul called on Miami.
Loose ball foul. Number 21, Sean Leonard, his third.
It's on Sean Leonard, his third.
Knicks are hanging around. You know, they're not allowing Miami to put them away. And I thought at one point Miami was about to. They didn't. They're hanging close. But I personally think they have to get it closer because in this fourth quarter, Alonzo Mourning will be back.
Alonzo Mourning limited to 11 minutes tonight on the bench with 4 fouls. Larry Johnson sits for the Knicks with 4.
Ex-teammates, Charlotte.
Yeah. Ex-teammates, not close friends.
No,
that's the first thing I thought when you said that.
Yeah. Just because you're a teammate does that mean you're a friend?
I think Alonzo Mourning and Patrick Ewing probably have had dinner in the last couple of nights. I don't think Johnson was joining them.
No.
Murdoch, P.J. Brown. Here's Hardaway, guarded by Charlie Ward. Sean Leonard curls. Nope. P.J. Brown can't get the putback. And a chance to climb within single digits now for the New York Knicks. Ward, bumped by Murdoch. Starks. Here's Chris Mills. Leonard has him defensively. And Leonard with a nice job. There's a loose ball. Chased down and saved by John Starks. One on the shot clock.
Oh, my.
Oh, man.
That is a big shot. You know what was so impressive? He was smart enough to look down at the other end at the shot clock. Watch when he gets the ball. John Starks knows there's not a lot of time. He's looking down at the other end, and he takes the shot. Smart play.
The New York Knicks have gotten within 9. Here's Hardaway. No. Nick ball. Pat Riley's team was up by 21 when Alonzo Mourning sat down with his 4th foul.
And that was a big break when Alonzo Mourning went out of the game. The Heat have struggled scoring ever since. And Tim Hardaway, he's had the one big basket, but really not been a factor.
And the Knicks have out-rebounded Miami 14-3 in this quarter. That one not touched. Miami ball.
They are stopping Allen Houston. They have played great defense. 5 for 16.
That's for Allen Houston. 9-point deficit. 30 seconds to go. Hardaway guarded by Starks. Illegal defense, New York.
Once again, the 4th illegal defense, Vern. The 4th time that they've cleared it out all on one side, and you can watch the entire Knick team mesmerized by Tim Hardaway. You know, we opened this show talking about the importance of 2 offensive players, and both of those guys have garnered a ton of attention. The difference is that Tim Hardaway is having a big game. A lot of people believe the guy who has the big game between those two, that team wins.
Hardaway with 31 points now. Allen Houston 5 of 16 shooting. And the lead is 10 with 24.3 remaining.
Yeah, and this is a great quarter for New York. They cut a lead, and they did it again with a defensive run. They made stops, so they were able to score.
Murdoch, strong drive. John Starks can't save it. Miami ball. John chatting amiably with Danny Crawford. Well, Hardaway, watch him with
Boy, I was thinking the same thing, Vern.
Hardaway back for 3. The runner, in and out. End of 3. But it's been a big quarter for the New York Knicks. Charles Oakley helps with the rebounds as the New York Knicks shave the margin in half.
Yes, it's a game.
12 minutes to play. Game 1, round 1. Back in Miami in a moment. Round 1, the much anticipated rematch between the Miami Heat and the New York Knicks. And a big quarter for New York, but now Jeff Van Gundy's concern as we enter the fourth has to be Tim Hardaway. He has owned New York in the fourth quarter of the 4 games they played in the regular season.
Well, and I think it will help now because Pat Riley has decided to go with Alonzo Mourning. I like this move. You could go either way. If he gets a quick foul, then you have to sit him out such a long time. But right now, the Knicks are making a run. Miami are struggling offensively. You need Alonzo in to get Tim Hardaway off because Alonzo will draw the double team.
See the proportionate number of points he has scored for the Heat in the fourth quarter of the 4 games they have played.
Yeah, unbelievable.
Yep. Here's Murdoch, Marley. They go immediately to Alonzo Mourning and throw it away. Hardaway with the errant pass.
Yeah, if the pass was there, Alonzo Mourning was still trying to look for Charles Oakley to body him, and he took his eyes off the ball. It was a bad pass because Alonzo didn't catch it. You know, just like a bad pass, if a guy makes it, it's a good pass. A good pass is bad when a guy doesn't catch it.
John Starks has the ball in his hands, tries to kick it outside. It's on the floor, and
timeout.
Timeout called. A 20-second timeout called by Murdoch.
What a quick one, too.
Whoa.
I'll tell you what, it's the other guys. Tim Hardaway's had a phenomenal.
Los Angeles playoff series gets underway from the Great Western Forum. Now let's check those on the floor. First for Miami, Murdoch continues with P.J. Brown, Marley, Mourning, and Hardaway. And Chris Childs on the floor now for the Knicks, along with Chris Mills, Allen Houston, Oakley. Here's Mourning over Oakley, and into the hands of John Starks. Starks, spin move, goes up and under. A terrific defensive effort. Starks taken down, jump ball. Oh, boy.
Hey, that's great defense. And Jeff Van Gundy right now is thinking, do I keep John in? Because he's so aggressive right now, he's almost out of control. I mean, there's 4 guys around him right now, and he was still trying to get that up. That was a good call. That was all ball. But he's in the game, and you like his energy.
Eric Murdoch with the defensive effort. Oakley tracks it down. Guarded by Mourning. Mourning playing with 4 fouls. Childs. Off the curl. Here comes Allen Houston, and Marley's there.
I really don't think Allen Houston wants that pick and roll.
Starks. And the foul is called this time. A kicking foul on Eric Murdoch.
Well, he had to call it. The only reason he had to call this foul is because he was accidentally tripped. And even though it's an accident, you still have to call it.
Murdoch's first. Ball inbounded by Chris Childs. Here's Starks. John playing at the edge.
Yeah, see, this time they're clearing it out.
Here's Starks off the dribble. Nice runner. What a nifty shot.
He's playing a game. Smart move by Jeff Van Gundy, keeping him in because he's attacking.
This is as close as the Knicks have been since midway through the first quarter. P.J. Brown, Chris Mills. Marley over Houston. No. P.J. Brown is going to get called for the loose ball foul.
Well, you know what the Knicks are doing so well, they're boxing out. Look at the shot from John Starks, though. I mean, this is a tough shot. First, he has to beat him off the dribble, and then he has to throw it up right over Alonzo Mourning.
John Starks had the big one to beat the shot clock earlier, and now he gets the runner over Mourning. 10 to go in regulation. Oakley sets the pick.
See, I don't think he wants that pick. It brings another guy to him. He wants the ISO.
Murdoch.
John Starks, his third.
9:52 remaining in regulation. Time has been called. 8-point margin.
Damn.
Hardaway rests, and we check in with Brian Burwell.
You know, you guys were talking earlier about Vashawn Leonard not driving to the hole. Well, that's all Pat Riley said. Put the ball on the floor and drive strong. Back to you.
Well, it's smart, because who's going to block your shot? You know, we talk about with Michael Jordan a lot, but Michael Jordan said now when he plays the Knicks and there's no Patrick Ewing, all he does is drive because there's nobody who can block my shot.
Eric Murdoch at the free throw line. Vashawn Leonard replaces Tim Hardaway. Keep in mind that stat that Pat Riley mentioned to us this morning, we talked about earlier, as Murdoch hits the free throw for Vashawn Leonard. He takes it to the hole 1 for every 7 times he hits a jump shot.
But tonight, I will say this. He's taken to the hole far more than that number, and it's probably because Pat Riley keeps telling him that number.
Murdoch gets 2. The lead back to 10.
You know, we talked about Marley's defense. Vashawn Leonard tonight has been posted up by Chris Mills all night, and Mills is getting nothing.
At the line, Mourning and Oakley.
Yeah, they're talking and doing other things as usual. I mean, look at this. They're trying to set each other up. They're like having a swinging contest. Who can get the elbow the highest?
Chris Childs, John Starks, Allen Houston, Marley again right there. This one won't fall. Saved by Mills. Now Chris Childs. Good ball movement. Houston, no.
He's just off now. But he's off because he's had somebody on him all night.
At the other end, Alonzo Mourning is fouled by Chris Mills. Allen Houston, 5 of 18.
Yeah. You talk about psychological things. When your best shooter misses a wide open shot, that is a downer for the whole team. And it's been this guy who has caused the 5 for 18. Dan Marley. I mean, they have a hit out on Allen Houston tonight.
Mourning gets the first. Larry Johnson, Charlie Ward come back on the floor for the Knicks, replacing Allen Houston.
Yeah, it's interesting. Today we were talking to Jeff Van Gundy, and he was telling us if John Starks is not playing well, he's going to go with the small lineup of Childs, Ward, and Houston. Well, tonight it's Houston not playing well, so he's going with the small lineup, but it's Starks playing the role of Allen Houston.
1 of 2 at the line for Alonzo Mourning, only the second miss tonight. 17 of 19 at the free throw line now for the Miami Heat. Larry Johnson.
Oh,
nice cut, nice pass, and a tough shot, no go.
What a great curl, but what great help from Alonzo Mourning.
Marley goes for Mashburn, saved by Mashburn. They'll bring it back out and reload. 11-point lead, 8:45 remaining. Ward has Murdoch. Here's Mashburn for 3. Oakley did a terrific job of getting Mourning out of the way.
They're going to war in the paint.
Childs brings it back outside. Little runner. Chris Childs for 2.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy said the last time they played, Chris Childs had a big fourth quarter. We want him in with Charlie Ward in the fourth quarter.
In the 3rd game of the season between these two, which was a couple of weeks ago in New York, Childs had maybe his best quarter of the season in a disappointing year.
Oh, Murdoch again. First to start double team. That's what he does. He causes a double team. Instead of shooting a jumper, Pat Riley says attack the basket, and that's what Eric Murdoch has done tonight. He's made 2 of the biggest shots tonight. Earlier in the game was a 10-point lead. He was stopped and made a 3-point play, and right there's another one. 2 big 3-point plays.
Wow. Larry Johnson fouled him on the first one. Chris Childs gets him this time, and the lead is 12. Less than 8 to go. Oakley, no. Murdoch with a rebound.
The key guys for New York aren't making the shot.
Alonzo Mourning. Oakley picks him up. Kick it outside. Leonard, penetration. He kicks it outside to Murdoch for three. That one off the mark. Oakley and Mourning do battle. Alonzo Mourning missed the stop. Here comes Chris Childs, the runner. No. Rebound Oakley. Foul by Mashburn.
Boy, this is a wild game right now. And it's wild because New York's desperate. They're desperate for points. And look at this. I think Alonzo Mourning was just so surprised that he came up with the basketball after all this. He relaxed. And that's what he's thinking about right now. I bet he can't wait to take that mask off.
Oh, man. Fractured eye socket earlier. Just missed a couple of games, amazingly. And here's Oakley at the free throw line. Allen Houston, miserable night. 5 of 18. Great defense. Primarily by Dan Marley tonight.
Yeah, and it's amazing. We're watching Miami, who they're just hanging on, and it's been Eric Murdoch. 10 of the last 12 points for Miami. He's been their go-to guy. That's why he's been on the court for longer than he's used to.
Oakley gets them both. The lead is 10, 7:15 to go in regulation.
You know what's real funny? He brought in Murdoch to run point so Hardaway can be the scorer. Of late, they put the ball back to Hardaway's hands so Murdoch can be the scorer. Boy, Oakley and Mourning are just going to war.
Alonzo Mourning. Larry Johnson gets the miss. 10-point lead, 6:50 to go. Oakley comes out to set the screen. Nice touch pass underneath. Oh, what a beauty. Larry Johnson from Oakley.
They won't go away. Murdoch will make a big three-point play, and the Knicks will come back. What a game.
8-point Miami lead. Who'd have thunk it, huh? In the second quarter. Mashburn into the corner. Here's Alonzo Mourning. Way short. Loose ball. Jump ball. Sean Leonard will be part of it.
I want you to take a look at Charles Oakley. Now, Mashburn is trying to not allow him to set this pick, but he's like a human cannonball right now, just flying around and then throws a great pass. Wow, he's having a great second half, Vern.
Charles Oakley, the definition of a lunch pail kind of guy in the NBA, and what a career he's had.
Oh, he really has, and I think this is one of his better seasons. With Patrick Ewing being out, he's had to play the center spot, playing guys 4 and 5 inches taller than him, and he's played phenomenal. This game has been a game about the role guys. In the first half, it was P.J. Brown doing all the little things to keep Miami ahead. In the second half, it's been Charles Oakley. It's almost too bad that they can't play against each other the whole game.
Oakley's done it on the rebounding area tonight.
And picks and little nasty plays that you don't see on the stat sheet.
A couple of wrestling matches with Mourning underneath. We've got 6:13 to go and an 8-point Miami lead. Let's set the lineups. As we get set to jump it, it'll be Bashawn Leonard. Alonzo Mourning tries to sneak out.
Hey, good try. There's been more jump balls tonight than I've ever seen.
Aren't you glad they don't have the possession arrow?
Boy, I hate that rule.
That one taken by the Knicks. Charlie Ward, Chris Childs, Larry Johnson, Oakley, and John Starks, who's hit 2 huge back buckets in this half.
And that's who I think they're going to go to with a pick and roll from Oakley.
There's Oakley. Here's Starks. 5 on the shot clock. Charlie Ward had to take the shot. Good defense.
Yeah, great defense. Wasted too much time. Wasted too much time.
Charles Oakley yelling at Joe DeRosa. Thought he got an elbow.
Yeah, well, and he's also saying someone hit the shooter on the arm, but no official is going to bail you out when you're shooting a one-legged three-pointer.
Been there?
No, I've been there a lot.
A little wild in the lane.
But see, now, that's why Charlie Ward is upset, because he's saying, listen, he just shot a one-legger also.
5 fouls on Larry Johnson.
And look at the defense here from Miami. Look at the shot clock, and look how they spread the floor. First the trap. Nobody open. Everybody rotating. Nowhere to go. And this is where Charlie Ward is saying he got fouled. You're not getting that call.
Murdoch with a miss.
And look at Oakley right now talking to the official, and he's saying he hit the guy on the hand down there with a one-legger. You didn't give it to him. Don't give that guy one.
One more. A one-legger.
Yeah, that means bad shot. That's a code word for bad shot.
Okay, I'll keep that in mind for the next month.
Unless you're Michael or, you know, somebody like that. Yeah.
9-point game. 5.5 to go in regulation. At one point in this half, here comes Starks for 3. No.
Boy, he had a look. They double team. They got what they want. It seems like tonight the difference is when Miami gets what they want, they make it. When New York gets what they want, they don't.
Alonzo Mourning. Oakley, the help comes from Starks. Oh, my gosh. Oh, man.
I know you're thinking that was a foul.
No, I'm just thinking they're going to let him play.
Yes.
Here, let him play. Looked like a pretty good flop.
Yeah, and that's why they didn't call it.
These folks in Miami have looked forward to this game.
Yeah, I think the folks in Miami just look forward to a reason to party.
82-71. .459 to go in regulation. This is just the first in the best-of-5 series. Game 2 here Sunday. NBC has that one. Game 3 at Madison Square Garden Tuesday night. Doc and I will be there for that one.
Boy, that'll be a scene.
Allen Houston and Marley. Childs, Murdoch. Eric Murdoch has been wonderful tonight. Loose ball, knocked out of bounds by Oakley.
Allen Houston is having a night not to remember.
At one point in this half, Miami led by 24. The Knicks fought back to within 8. But now they trail by 11, and we've got 4:25 to go. Murdoch goes by Childs.
He doesn't have the most points, but he is the most valuable player in this game.
He's got 15. And he's hit 2 critical baskets and has been fouled. And there's another runner for 2.
Yeah, and he's been huge down the stretch. Oh, no.
That one off Marley.
He's constant motion, Eric Murdoch. He never stops moving. He comes off a pick, almost falls down, and still gets to the basket.
13 points in the last 9.5 minutes.
Look at Dan Marley. And you know why he did that, Vern? Because there was no time on the clock. What a smart play. And that hurt. Look at Marley. But he will not come out. There's some heroes in this game tonight.
Brown kicks it out to Murdoch. He penetrates, finds Johnson there. Marley calls for it. Back to Alonzo at the shot clock, and that'll be a 24-second violation. Minnesota, Seattle coming up next. Game 1 of that series on TBS.
I like that series too, Vern. It's going to be some good basketball for the next month and a half. Oh, my.
John Starks.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy can say one thing. John Starks is playing again. Now they have to figure out a way to get Allen Houston or Larry Johnson going.
Starks goes for the steal. Marley kicks it out to Hardaway. That should do it.
It's the fourth quarter, Vern. Tim Hardaway just made a big shot. Technical foul.
Technical foul on Alonzo Mourning.
I don't think it was due to the refs. I think it had to be something in the play. Couldn't see it.
Yes, the technical on Alonzo Mourning, and Mickey Harrison, who owns the ball club, is yelling at Alonzo, calm down.
You better listen to that guy.
Exactly.
Because he has to check.
.13-point game. Hardaway with 34 points tonight. Larry Johnson. Murdoch with a rebound. That's 6 rebounds for Eric Murdoch.
He's been awesome.
Hardaway, Mourning battles for position and the ball.
And here they go. It's getting ugly. You want it ugly, you got ugly. And look at this battle underneath, Vern. Look at this.
Second foul on Charles Oakley. Mourning at the line.
Oh, my. Wow.
There's a Mourning miss. Yes. I was about to say there's one.
Tim Hardaway is saying, calm down. It's our guy shooting the basketball.
Now the crowd with a chant.
They always liked when there was no one shooting free throws. I didn't like when it was quiet. When it was quiet, that told you it was a real big shot if you were at home.
Mourning rattles this one home. Now Hardaway said, now you can yell.
Yeah.
So they stand and applaud. 2:19 to go in regulation.
Painful. He has a herniated disc. I quit playing because of that, and I know how he feels. It's amazing what he's done tonight.
See him limp as he runs? Yep.
Boy, Murdoch's really feeling good. He just waved Hardaway off.
Blocking foul underneath.
Charles Oakley, his third penalty. And the Knicks, number 14, Chris Dudley.
Well, you look in the game too, Vern, and you look at Miami wants to do exactly the same thing. The only thing differently that they want to do, they want to keep Alonzo Mourning on the floor a little bit more. Now, New York, you have to look at them and say, where do they get points? They did come back, but they still only have 76 points in this game. They have to find offense, and it goes to what we started this game with. Offense is the key to this series. Miami found a way of scoring. New York has to find a way, and Allen Houston has to be that guy.
Tim Hardaway, 34 points tonight. Alonzo Mourning limited by foul trouble.
He was your man. He was your man. We featured Allen Houston and Tim Hardaway to start this game, and it was Tim Hardaway who stepped up.
And then got some second half help from Eric Murdoch, who misses that free throw.
Boy, did he.
And Dan Marley with a terrific effort. Chris Dudley, by the way, is on the floor for New York now. Larry Johnson, Charlie Ward, final minute of the game. Well, it was 65-41 at one point, 24-point lead.
Yeah, but you know, Vern, you look at what Jeff Van Gundy has to think about. Now, he has to do two things. He has to find a way to stop Miami from scoring, and he has to find a way to score. So he has the double job tonight. This is a great crowd tonight, too.
Yes. Ward, that's only 14 points for New York in the quarter. The Miami Heat withstand the siege. Up by 24, they saw that lead dwindle to 8, and then came back. Big plays in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a good series.
Dudley battles for the offensive board. Here's Ward. Dudley with a putback.
Van Gundy's putting Dudley in just to give him some play. I think you'll see him more in game 2.
Haskins on the floor. Here's Mashburn. Game 1 will go to Miami. Last year in game 1 of the Eastern Conference semifinals, the Knicks won here. Of course, there was a guy named Ewing.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
Anthony Bowie, no. Dudley with another tip. Nope. Mashburn. Game 1, Miami. Game 2 Sunday. Hardaway had 34, 6 of 10 from three-point range and perfect at the free throw line. And Eric Murdoch and Dan Marley chipped in. Game 2, Minnesota and Seattle. Stay with us on TBS.